producing great content is often very much about the structure. Now, it used to be in the 90s, when I were a lad, that content writers would use a structure called AIDA, attention, interest, detail, action, which was great. It leads people through an attention-grabbing headline, some interest, which kind of develops what the headline is about, some detail, which specifically tells them about the product or service which is being pushed, and the call to action, the action point, which is where you very clearly state one way, just one specific way, or one specific thing that you want your reader to do. Now that got developed a little bit later on into AICDA, attention, interest, credibility, detail, action. When the world started creating more and more content, more and more sales letters, started pushing more and more stuff out there, through websites and whatnot, people started getting wise. So they would choose companies to take action with based on social proof. So that is that they've seen people who are like them taking actions that would also help people like them. So that's things like a testimonial within the text. So you'd have your attention, your interest, your little testimonial for credibility, your detail, then your action. Now, I am a huge supporter of Monesfica, which is man's never-ending search for increasingly complex acronyms. And my team now, when they're creating content, which I'll be honest is very, very good, they use a structure which I came up with, which is APTICDA. So it's attention at the top, a really good attention-grabbing headline, which directly addresses the needs of those readers. So that comes from knowing very, very well who is going to be reading this stuff. We then have pain. Now, the pain section is really, really important. We want all sales letters, all sales writing nowadays, whether it's brochures, whether that's a blog post, whether that is your web pages, whether it's an email, whatever it is you're writing. We want it to have an emotive response. So we really need to drill down into the pain. Credibility is massively built when you tell people who have a pain more about their pain, and they go, oh yeah, he's right, it does feel like that. So attention, pain. Then we have T, twist the knife. This is where we overdevelop the pain. So we say, for example, let's say you're an estate agent, you're trying to get through to people who are first-time buyers, and you say 5 ways that first-time buyers can buy their first home without the hassle and expense, for example. With the pain section, we say, well, listen, we understand that it can be very, very difficult, confusing and expensive buying your first house. There's so many things going on. You don't know where to turn first. Here's the pain, the twist the knife bit. This means that you're going to spend hours and hours and hours scrolling through Rightmove, never actually making that step towards buying your first home. This means that you're going to be stuck living at your parents' house until your early 30s, blah, 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 blah. So we develop that pain. We twist the knife in their side. Then we have the interest section. That's where we start to say, we have a solution. Then we have the credibility. So we have the little testimonial from someone saying, yes, they do have the solution because we tried it and it worked really, really well. We're a first-time buyer. We managed to stop scrolling through Rightmove and found the ways which are detailed below to, go and buy your first house without the hassle and expense. Then we have the detail. That's where you'd actually give them those things. You'd actually tell them, here are the 5 ways in which you can do X, Y, and Z. And then we'd have the action. If you would like to learn more, or if you would like help in buying your first house without the hassle and expense and confusion usually associated with buying your first home, please contact X. So just one specific call to action. So that there is a really quick rundown of how we write content for people like estate agents and property people who are struggling right now to come up with content which really engages with people. So try it. So it's attention, pain, twist the knife, interest, credibility, detail, action. See you later.